everyone. We want to welcome you today to the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. I am your host, Latasha J Humphrey, founder of the Flora Pearl Foundation, Incorporated. In a moment, we'll get a chance to have an amazing time in this podcast. But before we get started, we want to let our audience know that this podcast is being brought to you by the Flora Pearl Foundation, where our vision is bridging the gap, building a legacy. Our mission is that we are a 501c3, community-focused nonprofit mentoring organization, building healthy relationships and partnerships between women and girls through education, community service, networking, unification, and career planning. Our inspiration is Flora Pearl Humphrey. She was my paternal grandmother, and although she passed away in 2001 of a massive heart attack, what she taught me and my family was about faith, family, and community. And that is where I draw my inspiration from. Now, audience, I have the pleasure to introduce to you one of my sister friends. We have known each other for over about 20 years. She is so special to me, and I give her credit for being the one who gave me the realest advice when my children were small. She said that it won't always be this way. Also, she is one of my close friends who I may not speak to every day, but when we do talk, you would think that we talked the day before. Through the years, she has been the voice of reason with knowledge of so many different topics, and I believe that her military experience has served her well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Kimberly Crenshaw. Hi, Kim.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, how you doing today?
My allergies are acting up, but other than that, I'm fine.
Well, we do appreciate you for spending time with us today, even in the midst of that. And so we're going to make it as short, but definitely sweet. So it's such an honor to have you. And if you would, go ahead and briefly introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kimberly Crenshaw. I am from Birmingham, Alabama. However, right now I live in Augusta, Georgia. I am the mother of 3 beautiful children, and I work at Youth Challenge Academy, Fort Gordon.
Okay, perfect. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into the podcast. And the first topic, as I stated, it was about the military. And I stated also how, I just admire your knowledge as well as your life's experience and how you are one of the realest people that I know. And I'm definitely sure that traveling, the world and the military has had a lot to do with it. And I wanted to know if you would share your experience of why you chose to go into the military and how it's helped shape your world.
Okay, well, I joined the military because I wanted to be grown.
Okay.
I felt as though if my mom financed college, she could still tell me what to do.
Okay.
And the reality is, even in the military, she was telling me what to do.
Right.
But that is why I joined. But as far as my real experience with that, the military does make you understand that everyone is not like you. A lot of times in our neighborhoods, most of the kids are like you. They grew up like you. Your mom and dad are friends with everybody in the neighborhood. Everybody know each other. But your neighborhood is just a dot, if even a dot, that you can see on this big old vast universe. And joining the military puts you in contact with so many people who were raised differently, who have different viewpoints on different things. So you learn to appreciate that fact that everybody is not like you. However, their thoughts and feelings are valid just like yours are. And that's what the military taught me. I was only in for 4 years. I did do some traveling, but that is the one thing I can take away from the military and be able to roll with through every aspect of life that I've been in since I got out. So that is what it taught me.
Wow. And with it, I wanted to say, as it relates to, just like you said, just getting to know different people, what is something that you could share with someone who, like you said, you kind of got into it for maybe a different motive, but what is something you would share, before someone decides to join the military? What are some things they need to think about?
Well, you have to think about the fact that joining the military, you will be a soldier, an airman, or a Marine, and you are definitely signing up to possibly go to war.
Okay.
So if something were to happen, I joined to be grown and to get money for school because they offered me a $25,000 scholarship. So that was another incentive to go in, which I got that and used it. but you have to realize you're there to protect the country.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, if nothing's going on, you're just in there. It's just a job. You go to work every day, and you get off. But in the real thing, if something is to pop off in the world we live in right now, a lot is popping off. A lot of things are going on. So you have to be aware of the fact that if you're called, you have to go fight.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is something a lot of people, including myself, did not really consider.
Okay. Okay.
And I should have. It's crazy that I didn't, because the Gulf War had just ended when I joined.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I joined during the Gulf War, but I had it was called the delayed entry program, so I finished my 12th grade year out, and then I went in. However, it had gotten real, and had it continued, while I'm joining trying to be grown, I would have found myself in Iraq and possibly fighting, so that is something anybody who thinks about going into the military needs to be considered of. They have to think about that.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's very real. And, I wanted to segue into the topic as it relates to co-parenting. Like you stated, you have 3 beautiful children. And I know that just in knowing you, you've had effective co-parenting with their fathers. And I wanted to know kind of what has been that driving force for you maintaining those co-parenting relationships?
Well, to go back a little bit, my mom passed when I was 21.
Okay.
And that happening really impacted me in so many different ways. But it also, in a negative way it impacted me, is that I don't deal with a lot of bull crap.
Okay.
Now, I'm saying that's negative, but it doesn't sound negative. However, I don't foster relationships like I should. This is something I know. I don't deal with, because in a relationship you deal with things. You do. You have to, because nobody's perfect. People aren't the same. They have to learn to compromise and all these things to make that relationship grow. And you are going to have issues and problems you got to work through. And I don't do that.
Okay.
That's one of the downsides of my personality, if you will, because it happened so young.
Right.
To me, so young, I didn't know how to fix it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And that being said, when I would break up with someone, I'm done. You know, it don't even have to be nothing deep that makes it done. However, I did always want my children to have a relationship with their father.
Okay.
And so it was the grace of God. It's not that I did anything so special, but it was the grace of God that I had fathers willing to still be around for my children. You know, they matured, I guess, around the same speed I did, because that's not to say either of us always did everything perfect or by the book, because we had our ups and downs. However, they wanted to, they grew to a point where they wanted to be a good father, and I was at a point where I wanted to be a good mother.
Yeah.
So me and my personal relationship with them, that was superseded by me wanting my kids to have that sense of family.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I wanted to know, with that kind of what is some, I'd say pearls of wisdom that you can share with some parents today? Because, we see all different stuff, of course, on the internet. You see, parents maybe not always working things out, or just even knowing people who are not really working some things out. And so if they're facing challenges as it relates to that, what is something you could share with them to encourage them? Well,
children are happier with that sense of family. Even if it's hostile, when it's a hostile situation where I'm going to get my baby and I'm going to drop my baby off with you and you're going to bring my baby back, that's not a positive place for the kids to be in. So if you all can develop some type of friendship, it's hard because that's a person you had a relationship with, and it's hard to get past the hurt and anger and the issues that you all had in your relationship. But those things should be set aside due to the fact that you don't want that has nothing to do with your kid.
Right. Yeah.
Your pain and, issues, you have to get to a place, we all have to get to a place where if it's not working, and I'm not saying it's not working in the sense that I look at it's not working, because you leave the toilet seat up, it might not be working on my end.
Right.
I'm talking about that real pain people go through breaking up, and you want to hate the person, but you can't hate the person to help bring you that blessing of that child.
Yeah.
You can, but you need to dust all that off. Have your moment. I'm not saying we're not human and we can't go through emotions, but have your moment and get back on track to say we're finna parent this child, because those kids are happier with a happy base. And if the mom and dad are not together, however, they're getting along as much as possible, and that's not going to be the case all the time in the best relationship.
Right.
However, for the most part, we're united front. We're your parents. We love you, and we in this together. The kids feel that, and I think they're more positive and they're more happy.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's perfect. And I wanted to kind of move into, like you mentioned before, being employed with Youth Challenge Academy. And so that's where you definitely have the pleasure of impacting the lives of young people. And if you would just share with our audience, what is Youth Challenge Academy?
Okay, I'm going to start out by saying I don't know about the pleasure. It might be more it might be the pain. However, I do love my job. I work with children from
so
16 to 18-year-olds can come to our program who have had issues in school, whether they have been put out or they feel like the traditional school setting does not work for them.
Okay.
Youth Challenge is a place where they can do a few things. They can get their GED. They can also do credit recovery, and that will be more aimed towards your 16-year-olds. If they need to do credit recovery, they can recover their credits and then hopefully go back into the high school setting in the right grade they're supposed to be in. And we also have the high school diploma program where they get their high school diploma, and the only way they qualify for that is they had a certain amount of credits coming into the program, because it's a 5.5 month in-house program. You live there for 5.5 months. We have 2 classes per year, 5.5 months apiece, and those are our goals while they're there. We teach them discipline because it's a paramilitary setting. They march in formation, they live in the barracks. However, you still got the school aspect, because we have clubs. They play football. We have drama clubs, student council. So it's a mixture of like a military type school. It's actually a boot camp, but it's not like a jail boot camp. It's a boot camp for kids. And it really helps them. It really, the ones that it help, I'll say that, because you can't help them all, but we definitely try to. But some of them, we have to let, some kids, it's just like our own kids. Sometimes you got to let the world show them, they don't want to listen and do it your way. So, we're going to let them do it their way and see how they work out for them. So the program is awesome, though. It is definitely awesome. We have 26 locations in the United States.
Wow.
We have one in Alaska. We got one in Guam. We have one in Puerto Rico, and we have Virginia. We have Illinois. I didn't know this, but this is a program that is out there. We actually had one in Alabama at one point, even though I never heard of it when I was there. But we also used to have one in Alabama at Fort McClellan.
Wow.
But they're regularly expanding, because in Georgia we had 2, and now we have 3. So they've opened up a new location in the state of Georgia, and it's for the citizens of that state. So you couldn't live, say, in Alabama and bring your child to this one. So unfortunately, for the states that don't have one, the only way you could is if you had a family member here and they could use that address. I'll say that.
Okay.
But yeah.
But it's basically
they're regularly expanding.
Yeah.
We're run by the National Guard of each state. Okay. And that's how we're funded. For instance, I work for the state of Georgia Department of Defense. That's who it falls under. And it's a good program, though.
Wow. Okay. All right. No, that's awesome. And I wanted to, segue into, as it relates to generations, and with you dealing with the youth a lot on a consistent basis, and even like you said, some that are at risk or they're having those challenges. I wanted to know, as far as generational divides and, just the generations, being divided, do you believe that that's true? I do. Okay. Currently, I do. In the past, the way, I'm sure you were raised just like me. Yeah. In the way we were raised, is their way. Our moms and fathers and family
and there's no adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
Today, you have to adjust. You have to adjust to these kids. They are smarter than us. However, they're not wiser, but they are smarter. They have too many things at their disposal not to be.
Wow.
You know, you give a baby an iPod and they can work it. I don't even know how to work one.
Wait a minute.
Right.
Okay.
Like, where they do that at? And you're one. Like, okay, so you're one and you're like way beyond. I mean, you're smarter than me. Is this a battle?
Right,
like, I feel like I need to start dancing because I got to do something you can't do.
Right.
But there is a generational divide. So, you know, we have conferences and stuff in reference to the children we deal with, because it's all about how do we reach them.
Right.
That's what we got to put in our head, you know. It's not a battle for control per se, because I said so, or do as I say, not as I do, all that we were brought up on, which worked for us. It did.
Mm-hmm.
However, these kids are a whole new ball game.
Right.
They're a whole new ball game, and you have to reach them on their level. You can't bring them up to our level.
Right.
And that is why I say it is a generational divide, because we're shell-shocked to think, you know, it's hard to believe we got to adjust to these kids. But if we want to reach them, the reality is that's what we're going to have to do, because this is a new generation. They're desensitized to everything. You know, how can you see somebody get kicked in the mouth in a fight, or kicked in the head, or stomped in the head, and that doesn't affect you? That doesn't affect them. They can watch it and tape it. Whereas anybody else, you know, we would
I
definitely
couldn't do it right.
looking away, calling the police, crying, just no, stop. But that's not how they react to stuff, because they're desensitized. So they can't be like we are. Their whole way of being and seeing and living is different from what we know. That's why they can slap an old man at the bus stop. You know, and then instead of the other person being horrified and trying to get help, or even telling his friend or her friend no, they're taping it and posting it like that's something good. And we all know that's terrible.
Yeah.
They're different from us. They are different from us.
Well, what do you believe, Kim, that, you know, we can do to help create that atmosphere of growth, really?
I mean, I don't really know the answer to that, because you still got that internet right there. Our children a lot of our kids, believe it or not, are addicted to porn. You know, where if in our group, you might have an uncle that might have a Playboy that might show a breast.
Right.
Because it definitely didn't even show man parts. Right. But it might. That's what the most you would get. Whereas they get hardcore stuff. They get whatever they want to see. Whether it's torture, sexual stuff, beatings, gang stuff, just whatever they want to see, they're exposed to it. And it's horrifying, because there's nothing anybody should be exposed to ever. Yeah, you know, much less a child, because their brain is still developing. Because studies show children, young people, their brain does not stop developing till they're around 26 years old, which is amazing. But it makes you look back, because you're thinking, okay, this person 24 and doing all that, because their brain hasn't stopped developing. You know, you're thinking you didn't stop to think, you're grown. Their brain is not through developing. And if your brain is not through developing at 24, 25, what do you think having access to all this negativity does to you if you're 12, 15, 17?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not conducive to being a healthy adult. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
A mentally healthy adult.
Right. No, I mean, that's real, you know, and I think, you know, sometimes, unfortunately, whether it's within our generation or it may be a lot of us, we do know, but there are some, and then definitely older, where they may sometimes, you know, turn their heads to that, because they don't want to admit, even when it comes to the porn and different things like that, you know, this is real, you know, and it's like either you're going to address it and talk about it, you know, or not, you know, or you just prepare for whatever's next. That's all, you know, and that's just how I look at it. And I think that, you know, one of the things I just really try to do, and the reason why I ask that question a lot is because I wonder, you know, kind of like what would, you know, what can be done, or at least we talk about it. you know.
That's what has to be done. The communication between us, I mean, intergenerational generations, it has to be addressed that there's a difference, and we have to listen to them. That's the thing too. In our minds, they're so awful. You know, this generation in our mind is so awful and terrible. Some of us just sweep it under the rug and just that's how they are. However, what I have learned working at my job, I don't like to hug, even though I hug you all the time.
Right.
I'm a hugger by default, but that don't mean I'm gonna hug everybody.
Yeah.
However, it's funny because I have colleagues they don't believe in touching these kids, but the reality is the human body craves touch. The human body craves touch.
You're right.
And the children are all over me. And it's so funny because it took me 30 minutes to leave yesterday because I told them I won't be back until Thursday. So they're at my car. Somebody got my bags. Somebody ran off with my cupcakes. Somebody made me wait. I wasn't going to leave. But I do hug them.
Yeah.
They're not monsters. And once you get to meet them, and I'm talking about, we have an attempted murderer there in my platoon.
Okay.
But my thing is, I want to know what drove you to do that. And secondly, what can I do to prevent that from happening? Because you're in the program, and if you pass, if you complete the program, you're good. You're not going to go to jail. However, if you get put out for behavior or you don't complete the program, this young lady is facing 23 years.
Wow.
And so just to hear that is horrible. Like, what? The killer? But that's how I was at first when she first got there. Like, wait a minute. However, they're children. They want children things. They really do. And that's why I hug them. And folks be like, they'll ask somebody else for a hug. Be like, I don't hug. Sergeant Crenshaw and Sergeant Neal hug kids, honey. I don't hug kids. But I do hug them. Right. I hug them because I don't know if that's why that led to why you are like you are. Because you weren't getting hugs. And the fact that you're so all over me, you couldn't have been getting hugs.
That's true.
And people need love. They need human touch. So I do take the time to hug them. I pray I don't get nothing from them because they do the most. But so I do give out hugs.
Right. No, that's real though. That's real.
I do. And I'm looking crazy at the end. Like, let me go home and take a shower.
Did I?
And that's not because I think they're nasty, because I know they take showers there. However, kids have stuff. You might go home on break. Or some of them have medical issues where they have to go home for a couple of days. And when you're exposed to other people, you catch stuff. Being came in there and gave me something, had me itching. But that doesn't change the fact that I do give them hugs. I do. Yeah.
But that speaks to your character, though. Just the type of person that you are. And, you always want to, care, even though, like I said, you're going to tell it like it is. But, as it relates to, like you said, you're looking at, well, it's a reason why you did this. Is a reason why you're acting that way. And I'm trying to understand you. And I think that some people, they don't. And some adults, really.
Yes, that's true.
They're just not really trying to. And it's like, how do we then bridge the gap? And like our mission is bridging the gap, building a legacy. Well, how can you do that if I'm looking at you like you the plague? Or I'm not even trying to.
Today scare me. That's just being honest because they on some other stuff.
Yeah.
However, at the same time, they're our future. So we still got to nurture them and try to help them get past whatever their issues are and try to be a productive, we want to build them up to be a productive citizen because they're still our future. And we don't want a bunch of grown people walking around like they're walking around right now because that's not going to get nothing but worse. So whatever we can do as a community to make them understand, you are cared about, your feelings are valid, because that's the thing, too. Because we consider them to be so off the chain and bad, people don't take the time to listen to them. That's where gangs come in. That's a sense of family, and we don't give them that sometimes. We shut down from them or run away from them or don't deal with them, and we got to get down sometimes to the bottom of why are they acting like this so we can address it. And things that don't go addressed, it's not going to do nothing but manifest itself in negative ways. That's just really what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And so the gangs, your gang members and friends and gang brothers and sisters, they're listening to you, whereas your real family may not be.
Yeah.
So that would be the draw to why they are in those situations.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Well, thank you definitely for, giving your take on it and sharing your experience, because, that can help someone, to look
Mm-hmm.
at it maybe differently than they have been looking at it. And that's from the aspect of the millennials and the younger generation, as well as, the older generation. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you once again for that. Well, we're going to move into our mother-daughter segment. And I know you have two, beautiful sons, but you definitely have, a daughter, Miss Kayla. And
Yes, Kayla Crenshaw.
yeah, and our, a lot of what we do is definitely as it relates, like I said, to women and girls and mothers and daughters. And so I wanted to ask you, the first question is, what has your daughter taught you about yourself?
Wow. She's like me. Kayla is Kayla is a lot like me. So, looking through my eyes at her, I'm just like, oh, okay. She's real independent. I've always been like that. I'm the oldest child of two.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister's so much younger than me, it never affected me. So it's basically like I'm my only child, really, because she's 10 years younger. We never had to share or do anything like that. But I just look at my baby. She's dual enrolled in college,
Go
and she has
ahead.
completed her 11th grade year in high school as well as her freshman year in college.
So proud of
So
her. Wow.
so next year she'll be a senior and a sophomore, and she doesn't have any high school credit classes that she actually has to take. But with her being dual enrolled at the high school, she still can participate in the high school activities. Like if she wanted to play a sport or whatever, she's able to do those things because she's dual enrolled. But matter of fact, she got a job today, which is funny that you bring her up.
Congratulations, Kayla.
She got a job at Sears for the summer, and she's just an awesome young lady. She's awesome. She's natural. She don't have the pouty lip pictures with all the makeup on and the eyebrows on fleek and all that stuff. She's just her natural little face.
Yeah.
She has a natural in her hair. Her dad and I have like, well, Kayla, you want to do something in your hair besides that? Nothing's wrong with that. But just in case she wanted to do something else, and she's like, no, she don't want braids. She don't want nothing. I sent her, matter of fact, I went on Amazon and sent her some natural products
Yeah.
that she received today
Okay.
for her hair. But she's just a sweet little girl. She's a sweet little girl. I thank God for her.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, I know you mentioned earlier, like even as it relates to your mom, and I wanted to know, kind of how did your relationship with her prepare you to become the woman that you are today?
I am so much like my mom because I was 21 when she passed. So, unfortunately for my sister, she don't have the memories I have, but she does have her own memories. Don't get me wrong, but I remember so much more. My mom was the one. If you were outside after the lights went off, she made you go home.
Right.
If you couldn't go past my house and go nowhere. Like, you better go around the corners the long way.
Right.
And I find myself being that person because, like I said, I deal with the girls. I'm assigned to the girls. However, at my job, we deal with the boys too. And when they're acting up, I get in their tail. And it's a trip because with the boys, the reality is a lot of our boys are from single-parent households. And they need a male figure, which is why their male cadre do well with them. But the flip side is I do excellent with them because they're used to a mom. So the male can tell them exactly what I just said before I say it, and then I can come and say whatever I'm going to say to them, and they respond better to me.
Wow.
Because they're used to having a mom, and they're not used to men talking to them like they do. And I can talk to them the same way, and they're fine with it, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Like, you better get your butt over there and sit down. I don't know who you think. You don't run nothing here. Blah, 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 blah. And they, oh, yes, ma'am. But the man could have told them the same thing, and they showing out, telling me they want to go home. And they cursing and acting a fool because the male told them the exact same thing.
Right.
Go sit down.
Yeah.
Somewhere before you get popped.
So it's kind of really what you learned from her really was about that nurturing.
Mhm.
Just being a
and my mama nurtured everyone.
Right.
That's the thing. It wasn't just me. Like my mom, I remember, because I'm Tasha, I love clothes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that now because I wear a uniform so much, honey. I don't even wear clothes. I just have on.
I'm talking
about
it was clothes and shoes, girl. I was like, Kim gonna have something. I just remember.
I still have a lot of clothes. I just don't go anywhere, so I don't wear them. But anyway, my mom used to give away my clothes to my friends who didn't have as many clothes, and I used to be mad. Like, I wear that. Like, I can understand you giving away some stuff I don't wear. You just took my stuff. I wear that. And she didn't care.
Right.
You don't need all this stuff, which is crazy because she had triple the amount of stuff I had. But I'm just like, how you just gonna get my clothes away? Like, I used to cry.
Wow.
That's my favorite, such and such.
Right.
And you just gave it to her, But that's what she would do.
Yeah.
That's what she would do.
Wow. Well, that's good. Well, we're
gonna. That's why I understand too now how you do give. You're not wearing it. If you ain't bought in the gift, leave it alone.
Right. You might as well. Right.
Give it to somebody who could be using it.
Right. No, that's good though. That's good. Well, that's true too. Like, I think the thing is too, like, if you don't, what is it? They said if it's 3 to 6 months, even, like, anything, it could be whatever. If you haven't touched it or looked at it, it might be time to throw that out. Because
I was telling my sister, she has a storage, but you've had this storage for 2 years. I said, you don't even know what's in there.
Oh,
just
my
get
goodness!
Stuff away.
What? Look,
you don't want it. You couldn't, because your favorite, you would be the one in there and got it. You ain't even thought. You don't even know what's in there, and let somebody else have it to keep it moving.
Right, talking about your favorite. And for 2 years, that's your favorite for 2 years. You ain't looked.
You ain't seen it in 2 years. That's your favorite.
Right. Oh mess. Well, we're gonna move into a series of questions, and so it's an opportunity to let our audience know about you. And are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Well, what book most influenced you?
I'll probably say Sister Soldier's The Coldest Winter Ever.
Okay. All right.
I just thought it was so raw and real and like, oh my God. Now, when I was little, Judy Blume, but Judy Blume, it was Tales of 4th Grade Nothing. I was in the 4th grade and my mama had just had a baby. And the little boy in the book, Peter, had a little brother named Fudge. And Fudge took over his world. And that's how I felt my little sister did too. Like, okay, first of all, I didn't even want no sister. Because all me and my cousins, we're all only children. We're each other brothers and sisters. So I don't know what you're doing, bringing somebody else up in the mix.
Right.
And so as a child, I would say Tales of 4th Grade Nothing, because it's just the cutest book. And kids today, they're so grown, mature, they wouldn't even get it. But it's the sweetest book.
Yeah.
But I say Sister Soldier. I just the rawness and the realness. You know, I take the raw and real.
I know you do. All day, every day. That should be tattooed on your forehead. I take the raw and the real.
That's what I tell the kids at work. I said, y'all don't know me.
Right.
I know y'all think I'm a Southern Belle because I'm country and my voice is what it is, but don't get it twisted.
Right.
I went to J.O. Google it.
You a mess. Well, what keeps you grounded?
Life. Real life keeps me grounded. I shared that I am in Augusta. When I came to Augusta, and it's funny because we were talking about clothes and shoes, I came with about 5 pair of sandals because I was coming for the month. I was coming to visit for a month. Yeah. And I came with 5 pair of sandals and some sundresses because I knew that'll get me through August.
Yeah.
A couple of pair of shorts, some T-shirts, and a few pair of tennis shoes and some tights. And I ended up staying here. And when I went back home to get my stuff, my ex had actually either given away my shoes and clothes or threw them away. I don't know what he did. I was in a rage initially, and then I just let it go, I let it go. Because I got here, I got a house, I got a house based on working in Birmingham City schools because technically I was still an employee.
Yeah.
And I got the house, then I got a job, and I was just like, I'm over that place. I'm totally over that place. And I moved here, and I know it wasn't nothing but God. I got a full house full of stuff.
Yeah.
I got closets with an S full of clothes and shoes. And it's so crazy because this was 2012. My dad had to send me some money to buy me some shoes to go to work because it was not hot anymore. It was wintertime.
Yeah.
And he bought me a pair of Wallabies by Clark's.
Wow.
And now I got shoes running over and clothes. And, I mean, it wasn't nothing but God. Like, because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But my house is fully furnished. I mean, this so deep because I had a air mattress and I bought a $5 TV tray from Fred's that I kept my computer on, and I watched TV. Well, I didn't watch TV. I watched movies on my computer when I got this house. I ain't had nothing in it but them sundresses, those sandals, that TV tray, and that air mattress. That's it. Wow. And I went to the thrift store and bought me a comforter set.
That's powerful. Wow. Well, what are 3 qualities, Kim, that got you where you are today?
I think perseverance. You know, I definitely am still hurt that my mom is no longer here, but because it happened and I was so young, I had to grow up. So in the process of growing up, I just know you can't give up.
Right.
And I'm just not a give up type of chick. You know, I do whatever I have to do to make stuff shape and make stuff work in my favor. Not on no hustling, shady kind of level, but I'll work. I'm a worker bee. Yeah. And so I work. You know, I stay grounded. I know I'm no better than nobody else. I'm one paycheck from being homeless like a lot of people, you know. So I just think hard work, just understanding that with my mom having a heart attack at 38 when she was perfectly fine, the thought that it could happen to anybody at any time, so you need to be ready. That also has helped me. And then I have children, you know, because I lost my mom. Not to say he can't take me, because God could take me whenever he wanted to, but I really try to be here for them based on the fact that I lost my mom. And I try to be healthy. You know, I go to the gym, I work out, I try to eat healthy because I don't want them to feel that. Even though if they feel it, it's just what it is, because that was his, you know, that's what God has in plan for them, and it may grow them up if that's the case, but I pray that doesn't happen. So I try to take really good care of myself and be in a positive place. I don't deal with negativity at all. Yeah. I deal with negativity in reference to the kids at work because that's part of children. However, in my circle, I don't deal with a whole bunch of negativity and drama. Right. So I try to be in a peaceful place because the world has so much going on that's negative as it is. Right. I try to keep my circle tight and just be in a peaceful place.
It's good. What is something that every woman should try once in her lifetime? Did she say You so special.
Let's see. What should every woman try? I don't know, Tasha, honestly, because I may not have tried whatever it is we need to be trying.
Look at you. Well, what have you tried that you like? Okay, well, if you haven't tried this, you need to do this. That's just PG. Look.
Now, you know, I'm not adventurous. Like, okay, I travel and I have traveled, but I'm not adventurous. I ain't trying certain foods because I got allergies. I ain't riding no roller coasters. I'm not zip lining. Like, we go on canoe. Our class, each class has a canoe trip, and we camp out for 3 days. We do all this stuff. They already know I'm not gonna do it.
See, okay.
We rappel down the tower. So, Crenshaw, you gonna do it? They know. They know, and now you know. Nope.
Okay. Look, why you gotta tell me something? Nope. Whatever.
That's how serious it is. Like, I need you to understand that I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna go up there and see the whole world and then come down. I'm not doing that. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, fine then. Well, the next thing is, who has been a role model for you?
Who's a role model?
Who has been one for you?
Oh, you. I actually, all my friends, and I don't have but 5. But
Well, true. Yeah.
all my friends are definitely role models. I don't think. Well, I don't affiliate myself with anybody that doesn't have drive and know how and just get that extra get up and go and make it happen. So all of my friends that I associate with are role models to me as well as definitely to youth. They're awesome women. And my mom was definitely my role model. And my grandma, I really literally had the best grandmama. I had a cookie cutter. I bake cookies and biscuits, and I wear an apron. I mean, I had that grandmother.
Yeah.
And that's how I would want to be to my grandbaby. And I do have a grandbaby, by the way. Landon Jace.
All right.
That's my little man.
Aww.
And I would want to be that for him.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we're going to move into community service. And if you'll tell, some ways that you're giving back to the community.
Well, I definitely give away all these clothes I don't wear.
See, special to do.
And I give them to a pantry instead of, we have it's a mission, and they have a building not too far from my house, but they give away everything they have for free.
Wow.
So I tend to take my stuff down there, and the children in my program have to give 50 to 60 hours of community service, a class, each child, and we are responsible for taking them to community service. And when we are there, we're just there to oversee them and make sure they're not getting in trouble and doing the right thing. However, I participate in those community service events, and we have a lot of stuff. We feed the hungry. We pack up boxes that they give out to people who have lower income and need food. We do fun community services too, like we just did the school, Davis. We did their field day. Mm-hmm. We're just there to help them out with that. We have a senior citizen dance that we do community service at, where we escort the people in, the senior citizens in, and we're their dance partners. And so we do. They do some stuff that's like lots of hard work, but they also do fun stuff. Because community service doesn't have to just be hard work.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
So so many aspects of the community you can work in, and it's just give back. So we do turkey drives, and we take up clothes for kids. We also, at the job, we take up coats for wintertime. Right. And we pass those out to people in the community. So we're constantly trying to come up with new things, actually.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
So, so we do a lot.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a blessing. It definitely is. It definitely is. And so we're going to move into the faith segment, And this time we just like for our guests to share with our audience, a time when their faith was tested and how they came through it. And in doing that, I believe, with you sharing your testimony, like someone who listens, they'll be, impacted by it where, it could help them get through. So what is a time when your faith was tested and how did you come through it?
Well, my faith was tested when I told you I came here to visit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I came to visit. Yeah. My friend was here, my best friend, Michelle. I don't know if you remember her, Tasha, but she was my friend that lived in Atlanta. So she had moved to Augusta.
Okay.
And she had got a new house. Well, it wasn't new, but it was new to her. So I came with Evelyn because Evelyn's sister also lives in Augusta. She was stationed here. She's in the military.
Okay.
And she was getting promoted. So she was having a pinning ceremony. So we were going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
So when I came, Birmingham City Schools, which is where I worked, they were in turmoil and having issues and laying people off and just all kinds of foolishness. And I was tired of going through that every year.
Right.
Like, do I have a job? What's going on? And I just really had enough. Actually, I had enough, but I hadn't made a move. My plan was to go back to work on August 23rd. But Michelle called and was like, why don't you come up here for the month? And I was like, okay, I could come and I could stay to the 20th because that's when Kayla was coming back from the summer with her father.
Right.
And I was like, well, I could do that. So I came, and it's just something said, look around, see how this thing is going. Because I had been in Augusta in the early 90s. My son Corey was born in 91. And I had been here at some point in 1991 to come to the doctor. And Augusta was boring and grassy and old, and it just wasn't a city per se, because I'm from Birmingham, so it's more of a city. And I was just like, But when I came this time, Augusta had grown, and, it was nice. It wasn't big as Birmingham, definitely not, but it was bustling.
Right,
It was busy, and I was like, okay, and it was pretty. And so I ended up like, I can stay here. Just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I can stay here. And that's when I started looking around. And my house is so funny because my house is the only house on this particular block that has a garage, and the other houses have siding and brick. My house is wood and brick. It's that stained wood in the front. Mm-hmm. It has the architecture is really different. It stands out from the houses, and I was like, that's a cute house. I like that house. And do you know, one day I passed by and the door was open, but you could tell there's no furniture in here, and there were no window treatments up. So I was like, is this house for rent? And the guy said, yeah.
Wow.
It's not ready yet, but it's for rent. I got the house. I got the house and didn't have no job technically because I hadn't been back home.
Right.
Yeah, and that wasn't nothing but God.
Yeah. Wow.
I got the house, and when I got the house, I said, I'm staying. And then it's so crazy because my family members, because I hadn't came back home, was like, is you not coming back home? And I was like, no.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
And he did that because I'm telling you, I ain't have nothing in here. I ain't have nothing.
Yeah.
And I got the house. Once I got the house, I got this house before I got a job.
See. Wow.
I got the house before I got a job. But however, by the time I moved into the house, I had gotten a job.
Right.
And it just went from there.
Yeah.
Because initially, this was August, so in September, when I decided I wasn't coming back home, I applied for my unemployment. Mm-hmm. And I was dealing with the unemployment, them little pennies, just trying to put them together to get everything I needed. And it happened.
Right.
I ain't had no shoes. Like I said, my daddy had to buy me some winter shoes.
Yeah.
But as far as the house, I got the house. And once I got the house, everything else fell into place.
That's good. Kim. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know someone will be blessed by it. And so we're going to move into our closing segment, and it's called Matters of the Heart Moment. And the first question is, if you had the opportunity to speak to your 4-year-old self, what would you say to her?
I would tell her to always believe in herself, to never give up, and the trials and tribulations, they don't last always.
Yeah. And who inspires you?
My supervisor is one person that really inspires me.
Okay.
She doesn't have children.
All right.
Even though she works with kids, we work with kids, but she's such a nurturing person. And for me, because I don't have a mom, she's not old enough to be my mom, but she would definitely be a big sister. Mm-hmm. She's just so nurturing. She's crazy as a Betsy bug.
You are so
which
special.
Is funny. Because it's so funny because people at work are like, because she's crazy, she is. But she's so nurturing. And those that don't know her would know that about her because she comes off real hard. Mm-hmm. But she's a nurturing person. And, I wouldn't even make it here if I didn't have her. She's always uplifting. And if I have moments, and I do, she's the person, she'll talk me down from the roof, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
When I'm feeling stressed about family or whatever it is, she always has a listening ear. She always has wonderful advice. She's always there. Matter of fact, we had PT the other morning, and I don't run because my knees are messed up. I don't run in general, but I do have to show the girls that I can run because they don't know my knees are messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was running with them. And she come trotting up. She wasn't even supposed to be at work. She wasn't supposed to come in till 2, but she forgot. So she come trotting up, and she was like, yeah, because I'm finna go. Because me and Sergeant Crenshaw finna go to the gym. I'm looking like, I ain't finna go to no gym.
With you. You
around
so
this thing. So I said, oh, you going to the gym. You're not going to keep on paying that money and don't go to the gym. I'm thinking, I ain't spent that money. I go to the gym when I want to go. You can't make nobody go to the gym. And I went to the gym.
Right.
We did our little circuits, and I did feel much better after I left the gym. We got our little massage, because we go to Planet Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Got our little massage and went on about our business. But she's big on you being healthy and, staying in a peaceful state of mind and all those things. So I really appreciate her. She's somebody I definitely look up to. And she doesn't curse. And
right.
I curse, y'all.
I know. Thank you. I'm so glad we got through. I said, I don't want to say nothing that's going to kind of trigger her. I thought earlier, I was like, wait a minute, but you said bull crap. I was like, okay, thank you.
I have my work words. I do have words. I use that word. Bull crap and all that stuff. So,
yeah,
but I will curse. It's just what it is. Ain't no need of me lying about it. I will curse. But she doesn't curse, and I love that, because she will tell somebody off so bad and she don't use any curse words. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm just not there yet. But
that's okay. No, but with it, I'm joking with you about that, and also the audience. But we are glad that you didn't go there. But I'm just saying, yeah, that's one of the reasons why, real talk, like with her, she's always been consistent. And that's with me when it comes to people that I am close with, Kim, and you know that. It's that consistency. I don't care if it's consistently, that she off the chain consistent or, but I'm just like, it's a consensus of the people that I'm closer to. Like you could look at them and you're like, okay, if you saw them and they're in different parts of, the world or whatever, but for those different people, it's because, okay, this is why. I can see why they connect. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're just one of those people, and I love you for it. So no judgment here, at all. Well, what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
I'll say she was the secretary when I went to Pratt Elementary. She was the secretary at the school, and I had gotten accepted into the magnet program to go to Southeast Lake Middle, and she told me I was a superstar. She said, you are a superstar, and you keep on reaching. And I feel in my heart I'm a superstar.
And I know you do, yes. Audience, please know, that's what I should have added to her intro, that this is indeed a superstar. So let me make sure we put that out there.
It's so funny because I had an interview the other day at work. We had a paper come out, and they wanted to do an interview. And they asked Lieutenant Brown, which is my lieutenant, who I was just talking about. And she was like, oh, I got somebody for you. She loved to smile and be on camera.
Okay. And so
she called me up. And when I got there, I said, y'all didn't tell me I needed to bring my lip gloss. I said, y'all got me up here. But the interview went extremely well. And I do. I think I'm a star, but I think a lot of, I can't say everybody. I really can't, honestly, because some people haven't found it yet. I ain't going to say they're not one, but they're going through things that they don't understand that they are yet. But I think we all have that in us.
Yeah.
I think we all have it in us, but it was never brought out. And I thank my family, because I'm dark. And my family members, it's not like they're light-skinned, but they're not dark like me.
Uh-huh.
And I used to feel the difference because, you go to school and kids are cruel and they call you Blackie and just all these little random names. But my family kept me on a pedestal. And because they kept me on a pedestal, my self-esteem was never low.
Yeah.
And, it's sad when you look at a kid who does have low self-esteem. It's like, what are they telling you? Because the people at home are the ones that help build you up and lift you up. Like, are they not telling you you're beautiful? Because I have to go through that at work with the kid. And they're cute. there's beautiful girls. I don't even look at pretty girls the same way because I work there, because they the worst ones as far as fighting and doing the most. But the ones with the real low self-esteem, you know, somebody's beating them down instead of lifting them up. And I just thank God I didn't go through that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have anybody. I mean, you know, you got the outsiders doing that, but like in my household, in my family,
right,
I didn't have those issues, and I thank God for it, because that can break a child. You know, that's a child, and if you tell them from a young age they're not pretty, it goes back to when I used to call this little girl we know, name start with a Z, bad, and you said no, she's just what is the word you used to use?
You gonna get off. Strong-willed. Was that? It was. She's strong-willed. Look, yeah. Talking about she's stubborn, because you know I don't like that word, and I'm like, no. Now, and I know she falling out on the floor, but still, you know, girl's so funny.
You know, she beat everybody in the class, but and me. And she's still like that. Okay, well, we're going to go with that. If that's what we want to call strong-willed, that's what we're going to roll with. Mine, she been a timeout 4 times.
You better get up off my baby, Lord Jesus. I'm talking about, we joked about that the other day, too, because I said, you do remember, right? You used to, like, fall out on the floor. Folks got to, and then you take off running. Folks got to run after you. Like, where are you going?
Then she's sucking the 2 fingers like somebody did something to her. Right. Crying, like, you did it. You did this. Ain't nobody even saying nothing to you. You was fine. Left that chilling in upstairs, and I got to come get you. And then you done ran all over these folks.
That did not stop. That used to continue even going to elementary school. I know she gonna really not like that it's put on recording, that we recording that. But I'm just like, but for real, like Zion used to have to, you know, they would say, come get your sister. Like, and I'm like, where you running to? Like, it's like, where you go? You're in the school. Like, where you running? So it's just,
she was gone.
She was gone. Hey, like she was on a marathon. I said we should have put her on the track team for real.
Should have.
Right. Definitely. Well, definitely, Kim. What is did you have any last minute comments that you wanted to share?
I'll just say, you know, we have to be mindful of what we say to our children.
Yeah.
We have to understand they're people too, and it's not their fault even. I thank God I'm not growing up in this day and age. It's not their fault that they're growing up in this day and age with all the access to all this stuff. But, you know, we have to find some way to reach them. Right. You know, we can't stop trying. I'll say that. We can't stop trying to reach them. I'm not saying we're going to always be successful, because they're different. You know, they're just exposed to so much. Right. You know, we didn't have that type of childhood.
Right. Yeah.
And had we had it, we might be like them. So that's why I say we can't judge them.
Yeah.
Because it's not their fault. But we just got to try to find a way to get in between it. And we definitely got to listen to them. We have to listen to them. We have to take the time out. We got to touch them. We got to love them. We got to tell them we love them.
Right. Yeah.
And as far as our significant others or our exes that we share kids with, we have to try to maintain a strong, united front so that child would know that they do have parents that love them and they're on the same team, because children will pit you against one another. You know, that's another thing you have to worry about in a relationship. You know, them pitting you against each other. And then if you're in a relationship with someone that's not that child's biological parent, that's another pit.
Yeah.
You know, that's something else the kids can hold against us. So we just all have to try to be on the same page as much as possible.
Right, right. Well, lady, I want to thank you so much for being with us. Definitely, I know you were having some challenges, you know, with your sinuses, and I just thank you for being with us and sharing, though.
Not a problem, love muffin.
Awesome. Well, our goal at the Flora Pearl Foundation is to always be a blessing to all of those that we come in contact with by operating with the spirit of excellence. We want to thank you all so much for listening today, and you can visit our website at www.florapearlfoundation.org. We look forward to spending time with you all each week, and we will talk to you soon.